Hello and welcome to the English Listen Lab. Today, we explore a story so bizarre, so unbelievable, that it might just be true. Meet Dr. Richard Carter, a brilliant but slightly clumsy scientist who accidentally created a machine that could detect alien signals. Exciting, right? Well, not for long. Because the moment he announced his discovery, a mysterious man in black appeared at his door. Who was he? What did he want? And why did Dr. Carter's research vanish overnight? Let's dive into the scientist who heard the unthinkable. Chapter 1. The discovery no one was supposed to make. Dr. Richard Carter wasn't trying to talk to aliens. He was just a scientist messing around with radio waves in his small, messy lab. One night, while adjusting his homemade frequency scanner, which was basically an old microwave and a bunch of wires, he heard something strange. A repeating signal. Not random noise. Not static. Something organized. His heart raced. Is this from space? He had no idea that one small mistake would change his life forever. Chapter 2. The press conference that went wrong. Excited beyond belief, Dr. Carter did what any scientist would do. He told the world. He held a press conference. Journalists laughed at first. Aliens? Really? Then he played the signal. Silence. The room went cold. Even the skeptics looked nervous. One reporter whispered, "That sounds deliberate." Dr. Carter grinned. "It is, and I can prove it." But before he could say more, the doors swung open. A tall man in a black suit walked in. Chapter 3. The warning. The man in black had no name, no badge, and no smile. He pulled Dr. Carter aside. "You need to stop, now." Dr. Carter frowned. "Stop what?" The man leaned in. "You know what?" Chills ran down Dr. Carter's spine. How did this man know about his research? The man placed a folder on the table. "Drop this, for your own good." Dr. Carter hesitated. Then, curiosity won. He opened the folder, and his face went pale. Inside were photos of him, his house, his lab, even pictures from when he was a child. Dr. Carter looked up. "Who are you?" The man in black simply said, "Someone who cleans up mistakes." Chapter 4. The decision that changed everything. Dr. Carter had two choices. 1. Listen to the man, forget everything, and go back to his normal life. 2. Ignore the warning and uncover the truth. Of course, being a scientist, and a little stubborn, he chose option 2. He rushed home, locked his doors, and backed up his research. Every file, every note, every recording. "If they're trying this hard to stop me," he thought, "I must be onto something." Little did he know, he wouldn't have anything left by morning. Chapter 5. Gone without a trace. Dr. Carter barely slept. Every creak in the house made his heart race. At 3 a.m. he checked his laptop. Everything was there. At 6 a.m. it was all gone. His computer? Wiped clean. His lab? Ransacked. His backup drives? Missing. The signal? Erased. Panic set in. This wasn't a joke. Dr. Carter grabbed his phone and called the only person who might believe him. But before he could dial, a message appeared on his screen. "This is your final warning." His hands trembled. He had no proof, no research. And worse, no one would ever believe him. Chapter 6. The hidden copy. Dr. Carter sat in his empty lab, heart pounding. Everything was gone. Or was it? A thought hit him. He had one last backup. Not on a computer, not on a USB, but in his old notebook. It was hidden in a drawer under a fake bottom. Hands shaking, he opened it. The data was still there. Whoever erased his research had missed one final copy. Chapter 7. The escape plan. Dr. Carter knew one thing. He wasn't safe. If they had erased everything, they knew where he was. He had to go. Now. Grabbing his notebook, he stuffed it into his jacket and walked out like nothing was wrong. But as he reached his car, his stomach dropped. A black SUV was parked across the street, watching him.
Chapter 8. The Chase.
Dr. Carter ran, not to his house, not to his lab, to the only person who might help him. An old colleague, Dr. Evelyn Brooks, an astrophysicist who had always believed in the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. When he reached her house, she opened the door, saw his face, and said one word. "They found you, didn't they?"
Chapter 9. The Final Transmission. Dr. Brooks didn't ask questions. She led him inside, locked the door, and pulled out a laptop. "Give me the notes," she said. "We'll send it to every scientist we trust. If they erase you, they won't erase everyone." Dr. Carter hesitated. If they sent the data, it would never be secret again. But then, a knock on the door. They had found him.
Chapter 10. The Vanishing Act.
Dr. Brooks hit send. Seconds later, the power cut out. A voice from outside. "Dr. Carter, step outside. This is your last chance." Dr. Carter turned to Dr. Brooks. "It's out there now. They can't stop it." She nodded. "But they can still stop us." A decision had to be made. Stay and fight, or disappear forever? Dr. Carter took a deep breath and made his choice. The end, or just the beginning. The next day, news stations reported strange signals from space. But Dr. Carter? Gone. No trace, no explanation. Just one final email sent to a journalist. "The truth is out there. Don't let them bury it." Was he taken? Did he escape? And most importantly, who was really listening? Maybe, just maybe, we'll find out one day. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more thrilling English listening practice. See you in the next episode.